Hello, hello, everyone. It has been a week already, and I have really missed you guys since the last conversation, since the last opportunity we took to come together and connect as we always do on the Sunday sit downs with yours truly, Nicole Latrice. That is me. I am she. And I am so glad for each and every one of you guys to be here joining me tonight. um, I am going to give a disclaimer. I am going to try to keep myself contained this evening because this is something. Oh, it's been brewing. Boy, oh boy, has it been brewing for me to be able to really come to y'all and talk to y'all about this. If you're looking at the caption down below, it says a lot, but we're gonna get into it. Imma give myself a moment to allow everyone to come into the space. Say hello if you're rocking with me. If this is your first time joining me here on the Sunday sit down with yours truly, Nicole Latrice. Yeah, let me know that you're here. Hopefully, everyone watching this can now participate. I don't know what it is. I have to figure out the privacy parameters when it comes to Facebook from the studio application that I use as far as why it alters my privacy. But I'm not gonna let it change. I'm not gonna let it stop anything. I did just set it to public, so if you are just now getting the alert, if you are just now able to join me, say hello, say welcome, and let me know that you're here with me. Let me know that you're engaging with me this Sunday on the Sunday sit down. Y'all have to forgive me, like I say each and every Sunday. And this is actually right now the last Sunday that I'll be able to have to say that y'all are coming into my real life, my real schedule, my real time as a mom to a 10-year-old who just thinks she knows everything and is the smartest person in the world, but she's learning rather quickly. Yeah, that doesn't fly with me. But yeah, tonight, we gonna talk about the fumble, y'all. It ain't even football season, but people out here really, 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 they fumbling left and right. They got butterfingers. I don't know what's going on as far as why they can't hold on to what it is that is given to them. I don't know why they can't hold fast to what they prayed for. I don't know why it's something that is given and it's like it turns into a piece of hot coal in their hands and they're like, "Oh, it's too hot. It's too hot. It's too much. I can't handle it." I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there are any of y'all as well that are going through this, have recently experienced it, or if you are the fumbler, like, let me know where you are in your journey of interacting with other people and how you feel if you are someone who was has been fumbled. If you are someone who has previously experienced the fumble, if you are someone who is currently going through being fumbled by someone, if you are someone who's on the healing journey of the fumbling and the mismanagement that was done with you, or if you are brave enough, grown enough, emotionally mature enough to say you are a fumbler. Put it all in the chat. Let me know who is rocking with me tonight. Y'all can tell I am ready at like this smile on my face. It is a genuine smile. I'm not smiling through any pain, no nothing. This is what the peace that surpasses all understanding in my life now looks like. No, ma'am. Go back in your room and clean up. No. And that is what it looks like as well because I have been fumbled as a mom as well, and guess what? I have arrived, and I am no longer here for it. I don't ask for a lot. I do require something that is completely different, and if you are going to be in my life in any way, shape, form, capacity, oh, you're gonna have to get down with it, or you're gonna have to move around from it. That's just where it is. And I am very vocal about expressing that. If I end up yelling, hey, just please, tell me to turn it down just a little bit. But this is something that I am extremely passionate about talking about because I have been fumbled in more ways than one, too many times to count within the past year alone. I have been fumbled and I am not here for it anymore. So let's talk about what is this premise of the fumble. The fumble is when someone comes into your life and they are blessed with the opportunity to experience your energy. They are blessed with the opportunity to experience your presence. They are blessed with the opportunity, I keep it real, to experience your body. They are blessed with the opportunity for the moment of you to be able to change their life. Like the two different paths converge in you and this person, and this is in every possible space of your life. And I can clearly say that because I have experienced it now in every part of my life to be able to communicate this and to be able to have this moment of conversation with you guys tonight about it. They don't do what they supposed to do with having you in their lives. They don't do what they're supposed to do with keeping you in their lives. They don't do what they're supposed to do to not lose you in any way, shape, or form in their lives. And when someone fumbles you, they can be cool with the fumble. It's like, okay, that happened. Now what? And on the other side of being fumbled, the fumbly is like, yeah, man. And there's a lot of different recovery ways, and we'll talk about that here in just a little while, of how people come back, bounce back, try to get back to what their lives were like before they were fumbled. But right now, we're specifically talking about the fumble. It's the mismanagement. It's the discard, whether consciously, subconsciously. It is the lack of effort when effort was once in that place before. It is the mindlessness of not appreciating, not valuing, not cherishing, not um being in the God space of what he has given you in a particular person, and you're just like, okay, for whatever reason. And there's a lot of reasons why people fumble too. But yeah, the fumble is the mismanagement of people's interactions and engagements in other people's lives. My presence is a present. And with the whole start of like this fumble wave that I had mentioned that I'm currently experiencing, I feel like it's done now because the last one, woo, baby, it's just like, I should have seen it coming. But I believe in a God who can do impossible and wonderful things, and I still do. But he can do what he's going to do, but us on earth, we don't always do what we need to do when we're given certain things, and then it ends up being fumbled. Oh man, that's the first part. I feel good, like getting that off my chest. Oh, I needed to say that because there are some people in my life, some very close people in my life that are aware and have um been able to bear witness to this experience that I've been on with being fumbled. And I'm at this point now where it's just like I don't care. I don't have to say no names. I don't have to talk too much and give details about specific experiences. I can stand firm in who I am and where I am now within this part of my journey to clearly say to the world and even to the people who have fumbled me, y'all messed up when you did that with this one. Because I am someone who knows how to forgive beyond what most other people would just instantly cut off the first moment that there is a slight little smidge of they feel like they being fumbled. Miscommunications happen all the time. Two people, they live their own lives, they do their own thing, they have their own preferences before the stars align and the universe makes it to where they're two separate paths, like they're running alongside each other. They doing life together, not knowing that they're doing life together because PSA, we're all doing life together. We just ain't talking about it and we just ain't always that mindset, but maybe that's conversation for a whole other time. But they're just, running their own race. It's the Olympics in Paris. Go Team USA. Um, they're running their race individually of one another. And then something happens, something miraculous, something beautiful, something that in certain instances, these people actually ask for. Something happens to where two paths either get more parallel to one another. It's like, hey, look, I see this person, they running this race alongside of me. I don't know what they got going on. I don't know what they doing, but they're in the pursuit of whatever it is that they're, running towards or maybe running away from. We don't know. We're just looking over to the right, right? But the paths become convergent. Like they are here and then they slowly but surely get to a point to where they come closer together. They become more in parallel with one another. And then at some point through someone's desire, wish, hope, um, prayers, physical interaction, like physical pursuit, the two paths come together, and now those two people are running on the same track, still in their own separate lanes, but now we're on the same track. It looks like we're on the same path. And then the details really come into play. They come into focus. You see, oh, wait, like I got on like actual running shoes, like sprinter shoes. I got on spikes. Like I'm intentional about digging in and making sure I get to my destination. Um, you got on some Hoka running shoes. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I think those shoes are for running the distance. I'm over here trying to sprint to get to where it is that I want to get to. You're running the distance. Mm, that's a whole word right there. Not intentional. It just came out. Um, I think I wanna run the distance like you and with you. So I switch my shoes and I put on the Hoka running shoes with you. I'm matching your energy. I'm matching your pace because it seems like it looks good in that lane that you're running. You seem at peace. You seem calm. You seem like you know what you wanna do. You seem like you know where you're going. I want to do that too. I wanna look like that too. Like, this is chaotic to be over here running 100-meter sprint after 100-meter sprint after 100-meter sprint. And yes, I know my track terminology because I used to be a track star in real life. Not star, but, I ran track, whatever the case may be. And so, things is chaotic in this space, in this lane. Sorry. Things is chaotic in this lane and in this space. Things look peaceful over here. So you want to come into the lane of peace. Cool. Peace should be for everybody. Peace should be a pursuit that people are actively engaging in come hell or high water. You won't do anything to get outside of that place of peace. But then you have people who are used to functioning amidst the chaos. Those are those 100-meter sprinters. It's just like, boom, I hit the first 100, I got to keep going. Boom, I hit the second 100, got to keep going. I'm not where it is that I want to go. I have to keep doing these things. After a while, in running these races, you start to see that the destination may be the same, but how people choose to get there, that's where the fumble occurs. And I know y'all are looking at me like, does she realize she's mixing two different sets of sports? Oh, I do. But that's because you're not looking at it from the perspective of what I'm saying. Most people, when you hear the fumble, you instantly go to football, which is ironic because, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. But there's irony in that realization for you guys, for me, because of what football plays a part in for this. But the term fumble essentially just means to mismanage. So if you take your football mindset, your football awareness out of the picture, and you start to look at it from the track perspective that I am referring to, when it comes to track, if you're running a relay, what a relay is, it means that you have multiple people running their part of the sprint, of the race, as a means for the entire team to win. Mm. All right, Lord, we're doing this. None of this is scripted. None of this is written down. This is freely flowing from my heart, and He is giving me what it is that I need to say so that I can make sure that the message makes it home. So that is what a relay is. You have your 4 by 100 where the entire track around, and we can say that's the track of life to keep us on topic with what I'm talking about, is 400 meters. One loop around the track is 400 meters. You have a 4 by 1. That means there are 4 times where someone only has to run 100 meters. 4 times someone only has to run 100 meters. But in the relay process, in order to know and in order to identify who the runner is at specific legs of the race, there is something that has to be in place for that indication to be clear. There is a baton that is passed between each runner of each leg. So the first 400 start out, boom, I got the baton. I'm coming up on the person who's running the next 100 meters. I got to get ready to pass them the baton in 300 and 400 as well. If you do not do that, that's an automatic disqualification. In races, much like the race in life, it doesn't always go according to plan. You can have a bad handoff, meaning the runner behind, and they have to literally practice their handoffs to make sure that however the person that is running next is comfortable with receiving that baton, they have to practice what it feels like in the hand. The runner has to practice understanding how much of that baton they need to hold. And you got to hold on to it because if you drop it, you're automatically disqualified, much like in life. If you have a bad handoff. That doesn't mean that the race is completely done, but it is still considered a fumble in passing the baton. Now, if you fumble and you drop it, that's a whole different story. And in running track, when you got to do that handoff of that baton, there are fumbles, and then the person who's running, like some people, they get it with their left hand because based on how they've calculated their steps of takeoff, they get it with their left hand, then they pass it to the right. Some people will get it with the right, and then they just adjust it as they're running. Either way, to not properly place that baton where it is meant to be, that is still considered a fumble. Now, it is possible to recover from a fumble, but if you completely fumble something, you drop the ball, you drop the baton, you drop your responsibility, you drop your integrity, you drop your um space to be a communicator, you drop some aspect of that other person, some aspect of the experience that you guys shared together, some aspect of the future that could have been. And I will admit that in life, and as a life coach that has listened to a lot of people's different experiences, amidst my own that I have experienced, the fumble can be both conscious and subconscious. Let's talk about the subconscious fumble first because, like, I know how people feel about the conscious fumble, and I do really want to talk about that one with people. So it's just like, we can try to kind of change the conversation about being humbled in the first place, period. So in the subconscious fumble, in my opinion, it is the lack of willingness to change, especially once you have started mixing and mingling and interacting or engaging with someone else. And I'm not saying like from the moment y'all meet each other and you decide not to do those things, because if you decide not to do those things because you feel like that person is not noteworthy of your change at that time, that's cool. You have every right to do that. Don't continue to engage beyond that point, though. That's how you change that person is not for me, respectfully, into more of a fumble. And that's where you dead A wrong. Like, really. But the to me, the unconscious fumble, it occurs more so in the space of where you have two people who are coming together. Maybe I'm emotionally mature and you're not. Maybe I'm good at communication and you're bad at communication. It comes in the spaces of being able to recognize that there are fundamental differences that we have. Um, but it occurs beyond that awareness. It occurs in the space of when you're not wanting to stop living inside yourself, stop living in your preferences, stop living in your ways, your mindsets, whatever the case may be, and explore coming out of what you know and more into what you don't know. The In that space, the unconscious fumble is that. It's just and you're not being vocal like about it. So, if I'm good at communicating and you're not. You can unconsciously fumble me by not trying to the best of your ability to be a better communicator if you want to be in my life. If you don't want to get better at communicating with me or period, don't come in my life and definitely don't stay there. Because if we're engaging as a means to improve the communication between us, between you and I, and that's not really like what you're trying to be on, that doesn't make you a malicious person. That doesn't make you, a bad person to a certain extent. If you don't choose to vocalize, hey, you're actually really good at communicating and you ask a lot of questions and you made it a point to let me know that you're interested in getting to know me. But that's not really what I'm on. That's not really what I'm comfortable with. Like, it's not what I want to do. Okay, cool. We don't have to do that. But understand that if that is something that I want to do and something that I'm interested in, and I express to you that you rock with it, and then all of a sudden you say that you don't, okay, I'm no longer choosing to engage. Like, if I feel like what you're doing is a choice that you're making, because we all got the right to make choices. If I feel like that's the only place that you want to stay is just in the space of that choice of what you want for you, what you feel works best for you, the way that you want things to go for you, then that's fine. Have that, boo boo. I, hey, you've been rocking with it. You've been engaging like that for all this time. That is fine for you. That doesn't work over here for me. And I still don't judge you. I still don't feel like there's anything wrong with you at that point. I've just been able to recognize unconsciously that you've engaged in fumbling me up until this point. I have unknowingly fumbled. I won't say people as a whole, but like people's experiences or sometimes certain situations in my own personal life about how people have really felt. I have been a fumbler and it was unconsciously. It's like I thought I was doing it. I felt like I was putting forth effort to do those things, but then it still came out that that is not how it was received. So unconsciously, I fumbled either that experience, that situation, that conversation, how that person felt. I am not above the things that I talk about. I talk about them from my own experience first. And if any of my trusted people have allowed me to be able to include their perspective and what it is that they've gone through and their experiences into the things that I talk about, that's done as a means to take these things that we've been programmed or that we program into ourselves through our experiences as a unconscious thing, because the more you engage in something, you start off by being aware of it. You then transition to be conscious of it. But if you continue to engage and continue to participate in that thing because it feels good to you, because it feels comfortable, because you're complacent, because you don't want to change, because you feel like it works for you, then it becomes an unconscious behavior. Everything doesn't stay unconscious. You will get to a point, you will run up into that brick wall of consciousness. You will run into that mirror of either a revelation of you being able to see the error of your ways through the Lord Most High, or through the experiences that you experience with other people being in your lives. You can't see what you can't see because you are you, but you can see a whole lot more when you start to listen to what the people around you are saying. And I'm not saying that everything that everyone says is absolutely true. But if they are looking at you, if they know you, if they are living on the outside of you, meaning the outside of your mind, outside of your heart, outside of your body, the only thing that they have visibility for is what you tell them and what you show them. So, in what you tell them and what you show them, it makes them become more conscious of the things that it is that you do. And honestly, that's how life is supposed to be. Those are the experiences that you should want to have in life. People around you that support you, that love you, that help you, that facilitate the area of growth that you need to stop operating in the space of subconsciously, unconsciously fumbling people. Because if you fumble people, you'll fumble things. And if you fumble things, you're sure to fumble people because you look at them as one and the same when you operate in a space of doing so unconsciously. And if you're going to remain unconscious, you need to stay in your own space. Fumble yourself unconsciously, okay? And 9 times out of 10, you probably are and just don't understand or ain't willing to see, whatever the case may be. But the unconscious fumble is real and it does happen. It's up to us to discern if unconscious is okay. If unconscious is the launching point that gets us to conscious, hey, okay, I understand I'll have to go through that. But if unconscious is where you want to remain, yeah, it's just like, nah, that ain't the place to stay. And don't get me wrong, I know God put Adam to sleep. Yes, Layla. I know God put Adam to sleep in order to do the work that he needed to do. I understand for us, that is the best place that we can be to physically heal our bodies. We need rest. We need to be unconscious to get our energy, to get our atoms, to get everything to kind of slow down and be able to heal itself for the next time that we have to ramp back up when we're awake. But if unconsciously you choose to operate in a space to where you fumble people, yeah, I don't know what your life is going to look like. I don't know what you're gonna be left with. I don't know who, like, I would like to think if you continue to unconsciously fumble people, because I hope that whoever is watching this, whoever this goes out to, if you have any people in your life that you notice are unconsciously fumbling whatever, unconsciously fumbling money, unconsciously fumbling their kids, unconsciously fumbling their loved ones, unconsciously fumbling their significant other, unconsciously fumbling themselves. I hope that if you are exposed to these words, that you will have a conversation with those people and be like, "Hey, yeah, so I don't know if you know this, but yeah, you kind of unconsciously fumbled XYZ. And I just wanted to let you know, because I love you and I don't want that to be your norm. I don't want that to be the pattern that it is that you repeat. Yeah. So we've explored the fumble and we've dove deep into the unconscious fumble. I know y'all been waiting on it, so here we go. Let me readjust myself and get my little comfort pillow. Let's talk about this conscious fumbling that people do. Now, when you come into somebody's life and you can tell my whole voice done already changed because I mean this like for real, for real. When you come into somebody's life and you can see a light about that person, when you can see the drive in that person, when you can see that that person maneuvers, operates, facilitates, explores, thinks, feels, believes completely different than what you do. If you do not have your big boy or your big girl pants on to be able to handle that, the end result is going to be a conscious fumble because you're not going to be willing to either put up with, to fight yourself for, to fight for. You're not going to have the wherewithal to do or to be this tall to ride this ride. And if you know that that is not you, if you know that that is not what you are on, if you know that that is not what you are capable of, don't play with it. Don't try it. It's like like if you think about it, that's like a baby seeing their parents eat something. You know what I'm saying? And as a baby, they operate at a lesser brain capacity than we do as adults. They ain't lived life. They ain't did nothing. They done had everything catered to them, given to them. They've been breastfed, whatever the case may be. Everything has been provided for them. But they still see like the joy and the excitement and like the little things that we as parents do when we love a particular type of food. And that baby can like, stick their hand in the bowl or they can grab something from you and try to eat it. And it's something that they do not end up liking. Their palate has not been refined enough to appreciate the sustenance that has been given to them. So what do? They waste the food. They throw it on the floor. The parents can't eat it because the kids' fingers be in their mouth all the time and they touch like, no, so it's wasted. It's mishandled. It's then discarded because the value of the fact that they don't like that thing, that they don't have the palate, they don't have the appreciation, they don't have the growth needed to really appreciate what has been provided to them at that point. They fumble it. And they do so by not actively pushing. They do that by not actively fighting. They do that by not checking themselves to say, hmm, well, in one season not that long ago, like I was at the lowest of the low. I've had the worst experiences. If I'm a female, I've had the worst experiences. Male, this is just a thought process. This is not what I'm actually saying. I'm just trying to take y'all, through the whole mindset. Or as a male, man, I done had these women that have used me, that have not appreciated me, that have not valued me. Like I don't want that anymore. Like, I'm not here for it. Like, I got my S on my chest for myself. Like, come on, we ain't doing this no more. I'm not taking this like this no more. You get to a point to where you put out that call and you make that cry to the universe, to God, to whoever you look at to move you beyond that point. And we as humans, we are fickle creatures. We don't know 100% what it is going to look like with the things that it is that we ask for. But we still ask. And we ask, and I've had this conversation with several people, we ask feeling like we really know 100%, like, I serve God. So that's who I talk to. And it's just like, Lord, if you do this, if you give me this, I'll do this and I'll make sure of this and I won't do this. And then he gives it to you because you made that declaration, because you made that decree, because in that moment, he felt that you was the realest of the reals. Like, okay, they don't want this no more. They done had a bad experience this way. They humble enough. Like, I feel like they've surrendered. I'm going to give them what they actually need. I heard what they wanted. And I'm thinking about that because I am a God who loves my kid. I am a God who loves my people, my babies. I'm going to take what it is that they say that they want, and I am going to do my God stuff in the miraculous way that I can. And I am going to give it to them in a form in which they actually need it. But then because it does not walk in the version of the duck that I thought it was gonna be. It don't quack like the duck sound I'm used to hearing or I was expecting to hear. It don't move no way like I thought, anticipated, or expected it to. I don't know what to do with it. Okay, well let me try to engage in it just for a little bit and let me see what it really is. Y'all know y'all be saying it. I'm just gonna see what's up. Okay. In certain situations, depending on where it's coming from and who actually gave it to you, gonna see all of what's up. And it might not be what you like. It may not be what you think because you're looking at it from the perspective of, oh, this person that I've been given, this experience that I'm having with them is too much. I don't know what to do with it. I ain't never had nothing like this. I don't know what to do with it. And instead of continuing to embrace it because you asked for it, instead of praying, hey, I know I asked for this thing and I really meant it when I asked for it. I don't know, one, what to do with this thing. The other thing would be, I don't know what to do with me now that I have been given this thing that I've asked for, this person that I've asked for, this new experience that I've asked for, this new mindset that I've asked for, this new outlook that I've asked for, this new vision that I've asked for, this new opportunity for something different. I don't know what to do with it, so I'm choosing to no longer do anything with it. Even though I asked for it and even though I started with it. Uh, eh, this ain't what I want no more. But the fumble, the conscious fumble occurs because you already started involving yourself with it. You've already started engaging down this path. Be careful what you ask for and be mindful of what you actually going to be given because none of this is in our control. He knows things about us. He knows greater things than we do. Like, I'll give you an example. It's getting a little bit off topic, but it's still an example nonetheless about what I literally was just saying about how we ask for specific things. And some of us, we try to have those like blankets. Oh Lord, just give me just this. There's never a just this when it comes to our ask as humans. There's never a just this when we ask him, and there's never a just this when we ask each other, right? There's always something else, something underlying, something that we're not fully willing to explore or open up about or be vocal about. Hey, I'm right there with y'all. I've done it too. So I prayed for preparation. And when I was praying for preparation, and this is a conversation I literally just had, so I've worked it out. When I prayed for preparation, my prayer for preparation was for me and a particular person to be prepared for a life together. And that literally was the prayer. That literally was the request. But in my heart, it did look a specific way. Now I know God sees it all. He can see that little morsel of hope, that little crumb that I was trying to keep below in my right ventricle. Like he's like, yeah, no, I see it all. What I got was separation. Well, dang, Lord. Like that ain't what I wanted. That ain't how I saw it going. But now, where I am within my healing journey, I can see that it was made that way because I was continuously being fumbled by the other person. I had my moments where I felt like, all right, well, I could have let that person just like say what they needed to say because they came to me. It's just like, oh, like this is what's up, this is what's going on. And in a little corner in my mind, it's like, man, I ain't trying to hear none of that. Like that's all I've been hearing. But putting on my godly mindset, it's just like, okay, well, maybe in those opportunities, I should have like kind of had a certain level of maybe more empathy to just be understanding of the information that was being given. People live their own lives. They have their own things that it is that they are accustomed to doing prior to my hmm, entry and or re-entry back into their lives. So I talked about like people have been fumbling me for like the past year or whatever. And it's several people. Not necessarily several instances, it's several people. And God gives me these moments in my understanding where I look back and I'm like, all of the people that I feel have fumbled me lately, I've been fumbled from a place of re entry because these were all people that I once knew in one way, shape, or form. Previously, and back in a space where we were younger minded kids doing life together. To where I left the environment that we once knew, once grew up in, once grew together in, to my own space 589 miles away. Living my own life, doing my own experiences, they doing the same, not in a whole lot of communication. And the Lord puts it on my heart to come back to Tulsa. It's like, all right, cool, Lord. Yeah, you moving me into a place where there's familiarity. There's people that I know, people that I went to school with, like people that few and far in between that I was still having conversations with, but we were still in touch. Cool. All right, Lord, appreciate it. So my first inclination, my first instinct was I should be good. Like I'm talking to people that I know, I'm talking to people that I grew up with. I'm having experiences with these people. Now, mind you, the first year that I got back, nobody knew that I was back because I didn't want anybody to know. I had my own things that I was working out, my own things that needed to shake off of me, my own things that I need to get right and sit right with. Second year I was back, it's like, okay, like I took a full year, like really in seclusion, really in isolation, like really to just chill, get my foundation of being back and the foundation of the rest of my life in place. All right, let me see what everybody else is on. I'm seeing, I'm looking, it's just like, okay, from time to time I mix and mingle with a couple people or whatever, but it's just like, I'm not really doing too much because I'm still shifting out of my space into awareness of other people and how they move. Like I said, 589 miles away, almost 2 decades. That's significant. I ain't finna just jump in the deep end. I know how to swim, but yeah. Third year, last year, just like, okay, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna start doing more. So, second year was my reunion, linked up with people. Last year was the year where I started being fumbled, and it's just like, is it me or is it them or is it us? Like, are we not supposed to be doing these things? Are we not supposed to be together as people? Do these people like actually care when it comes to me? I've been gone for so long. I don't know what this is no more. To where it's just like now I have, because we're in year 4, I have a newfound appreciation of these people don't know me. So if they don't necessarily know me, then maybe that's why they keep fumbling me. And if I express to you like who I am, how I think, how I get down, and I allow you the space to kind of do, not kind of, I allow you the space to be able to do the same. Not everyone chooses to do it with me because that's vulnerability. Like to tell somebody like how you feel, how you want to be treated. Like some people don't have boundaries. I didn't have them at one point either. So I understand a lot. For me, it's not enough just to be around me. It's not enough to just have mindless conversations. I ain't saying everything gotta, be the deepest part of the ocean, the Laurentian abyss on the types of conversations that we have, but we should still be having conversations though. And I like to have conversations about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the in between to avoid the fumble because I know and I appreciate that conversation is what avoids fumbles from happening. Like the fumbles that take you out. or the fumbles that remove you out. Because for me, with where I am, depending on the level of the infraction that people choose to do, you gotta first time and first time only to show me what's up. And once I feel like I know what's up, because I like I said, I don't assume. I'll communicate with you. If you show me something, I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know about that. Should I interpret that like this? Like, did you mean this when you said that? Like, be 100% honest. If I'm asking, I'm not looking for anything other than clarity. I'm not looking for you to change your answer. I'm not looking for you to change your response. I'm looking for you to be honest, open, and transparent. Don't deflect, don't shy away from, don't avoid. We're right here. Because to not be right here with me, knowing what I know now, that's the setup for a conscious fumble. Nah, player. That ain't happening over here. So now with where I am, thanks to God, God, my process, my best friends, my own self for intentionally and decisively choosing to make the decision to let go. And when I say let go, I mean let go. No, nothing. No, Nathan. Don't even. You see somebody with locks, it ain't me. Like, that's the removal, the level of removal. But where I am right now, I am still in a place of active recovery because when the fumble happens subconsciously or consciously, there's a period of time that is spent in the experience by the two people. And those two people will experience the experience completely different. The seeds that are planted, the roots that are done, the connection that is built, the bond that is had, it hits differently for each of those two people. I'm someone when I am connected, I love hard, I love strong, I love unconditionally, and there's limits to unconditional. Well, I'll make sure to circle back for that one at another discussion. Hopefully my if we not winning counterpart can join me in that conversation. I think that'll be a really good one for us to have and for you guys to participate in and be aware of. Um, but I'm in my active recovery place. And with how I have handled being mishandled, for me to be in this place, in this space of this mind is by no other thing than God. I have been blessed to experience the peace that passes all understanding of that particular situation and then group of situations, like that whole particular period. And with the peace that I have, two things. One, I'm not gonna let anybody affect that, new or old, because I literally, for some time now have had to fight, really fight a myriad of different things to be able to get to this place. Now that I am in this place, no one other than God Almighty, not even including myself, has the right or the capability of touching this place. And people, don't get me wrong, they keep trying to push me. They do. I'm not engaging in it. I'm not here. with it. And then the second thing is I'm not looking back because where I am right now with the peace that I have with like the last person, the last experience of people fumbling me, where I am now, if I were to look back, that is a choice. Me looking forward is a decision that I am here to make every single day. I had a conversation with my therapist, hand to God, I swear, this past Thursday. He said, when you get to those moments where you find yourself wanting to look back, because in my active recovery right now, what I am intentionally doing is I am unconnecting those connections. So those little things that make my mind slip back to that person is just like, cut it. I don't need that in my life. I need to cut it. Like that's where I am. And it's a lot of little connections that in the wrong hands can be used to allow me to slip back into that place, let alone if the actual person was in front of me or around me. Like, yeah, the decisions that I actively need to engage in order to be able to make sure that I am as committed to myself as I need to be in order to move forward. What's done is done. I can't do anything to change what's been done. And like I said it at the beginning of this talk, and I'll say it again, the smile that I have on my face, like when my cheeks get plump like that, that is a very genuine and authentic smile. This is what the peace of recovering after being fumbled looks like. And for anyone who has been fumbled, if you haven't let it go, baby, let it go. That was done. If you have removed yourself from that experience or from that person that has fumbled you, count your blessings that you don't have to worry about it anymore. If you feel like after hearing this, you are someone who is in an active space of being fumbled, A, figure out your exit strategy. Your presence is a present into the lives of the people that you allow it to be there. And if a person ain't appreciative of the blessing of your presence, take your present back. Don't feel bad about doing it. If you are someone who is in the various stages of the recovery of being fumbled, you could be at the lowest of the low. You could be in the process of like trying to figure it out, and you can be on the other side of like coming out of that tunnel of darkness and you can finally see the light. It is an experience that will go with you for the rest of your life. But process through what you need to take with you and leave the rest of the ish where it is and leave those people where they are as well. Now, if I can say that as someone who knows how to hold on longer than I need to hold on to, and I got this strength going on, I'm giving some of it to you as well. And if you need to connect directly with me for any reason to talk about your experience of being fumbled and where you want to go after being fumbled, hey, I am here for it. I am open to it, and I'd love to connect and engage with you. Feel free to send me a DM, a PM. I'm now on 3 spaces, y'all, with this. I am on Facebook. Hello to everyone on Facebook. I love y'all. Y'all was rocking with me back when I was doing my Friday coaching sessions. This is the new version. This is the 2.0. So thank you to all my Facebook audience for rocking with your girl for as long as you have been. To YouTube, thank you for the new space, the new opportunity. Like, I'm loving being here. I'm on YouTube all the time watching sermons and various things, and now I can say I'm a part of that particular crowd. Find me on YouTube. I can say that now. And then this is the first episode for my people on Instagram. Hey, y'all, I've been trying to figure out how to get to y'all for the longest, and now I have it. And now that I am here, I ain't going nowhere except, to new and broader horizons, but y'all gonna come along for the ride. So if this helped you in any way, if this shed light on anything that you're going through as far as being fumbled, having been fumbled, or if you are a fumbler, let me know. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys something that you can benefit from, something you can really feel. Um, and my greatest intention is to be able to come to you guys each and every Sunday, and in the future space of if we're not winning with my co-host Queen Sun, to be able to really push these conversations out into the light so we can change, really change and get the things that are destined for us. Like, I'm not done with love. Love ain't done with me. We just ain't talking to each other right now. We not speaking the right language. But guess what? I'm going to keep talking so that then we can start speaking the right language together. So I'm not going to hold y'all any further. I am appreciative of taking the time to sit down with me, to listen, and to bear witness to my experience and my recovery of how I have been fumbled, y'all. Like, for real. Ooh. But it's neither here nor there. Thank you. I love y'all. And as always, 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 please go out and seek a good life filled with real love and all of the above. I love y'all, and I can't wait to see y'all again next Sunday on the Sunday Sit Down with your girl, Nicole Latrice. Until then, I love y'all. Have a good week.